Hello, my name is Angel and welcome back to my channel. It is so cold here. It's actually snowing. So I just made myself a nice hot peppermint tea in my Lord of the Rings mug. So I'm going to enjoy that tonight. It's a perfect little night treat because it is caffeine free and it also is ringing in the cold weather, the holidays, what have you with the peppermint. I love peppermint things, so very excited to have this. And speaking of warm and cozy, I have been wanting to make my reading room look cozier, feel cozier, and a big part of that is getting curtains. The couple of years that I've lived here, I haven't had curtains, and if you own books, you know that sunlight is not good for books, so my books on the end here towards the window, the edges are starting to change color a little bit, and I just hate to see that happen when I can easily install curtains. I am going to put up some blackout curtains in this video that I think are cute. They're gold, and install those. Also a little paper lantern. It is in a snowflake one, so it is for the holidays, but I think it's super cute for all of winter, all of the winter season. So I've got a mix of seasons going on right now. Sorry about that with the pumpkins here and the oranges and the leaves still up. But I'm slowly taking down my Halloween stuff and putting out my Christmas stuff. I am one of those people who starts decorating in November. I think the snowflake is so cute, and I am putting little fairy lights in it to light it up and just have it on a timer. I think that is just going to make the space so much cozier. It is Monday night, and the reason I'm starting the vlog today is because I didn't get really any reading done over the weekend, and there's so much reading I need to do. I'm in the middle of a couple of books, but I'm not sure if that's what I'm going to continue in this vlog or not. So I wanted to just take tonight and tomorrow. Tomorrow is a holiday. It is Veterans Day. I also have the day off, which is amazing. So I'm going to use that time to hopefully catch up on some reading. And what I'm doing, I'm going to give myself a little bit of a challenge to really motivate me to read in this vlog. And I'm considering either just watch Sid Bookworm's vlog where she swaps screen time for reading time, but she does the pickups, so how often she picked up her phone is how many pages she read for the day, which would definitely be manageable. But since I'm only doing this for 2 days, I don't feel like I'd get that much reading done, to be honest, because just looking through here, my pickups are like 58 pages or so, which isn't going to really help me with what I need to get done, which is a lot of reading. So I think I'm going to be a little bit crazy and do swapping screen time for reading time for these 2 days. So it is already 9:35 p.m. to be exact. So if I do this challenge, I will be up very late tonight, but it's fine. It's fine. I have the day off tomorrow. I'll be all right, surely. So let's see. I did take a couple screenshots while I was at work today on my lunch break, not on the clock. Okay, so let's see. Since this whole challenge is because I didn't get to read over the weekend, the time that I will be pulling for this vlog is going to be Saturday and Sunday. So Saturday, November 8th, I was on my phone for 3 hours and 43 minutes. If you can see that. So we are going to start with that. It is already, like I said, 9:37 p.m. now, and I need to read for 3 hours and 43 minutes. So I'm going to be up very late. Well, the whole point is me getting to read more. So if I don't read for 3 hours and 43 minutes tonight, I'm just going to carry it over tomorrow, because the whole challenge is that I read more and I read the amount of the weekend. So not going to be too strict on myself about that. If I fail to do it tonight, I'm going to carry it over. So now for the hard part, which is choosing what I read. I have been so fortunate this year that I got approved for the 2 ARCs that I requested. I don't request a lot of ARCs because I don't read as fast as I feel like most ARC readers do. Like, ARC readers are a different breed. They are reading all the time and giving these excellent reviews. And I love that, but I'm also very, I don't know, I don't know what I would call myself actually, so scrap that. This year I did request 2 arcs, and one of them I've already talked about on this channel, and it was recently published. It was published earlier this month. If you haven't picked it up, go ahead and pick it up. It is Gilded in Vengeance by Alyssa Maya Smith, and I really enjoyed it. So I got approved for that one. I read that one immediately just because I was so excited that I got approved for the arc. Yeah, this one was just released November 4th. So if you have not read it and you love young adult books with historical and romantasy vibes, pick up Gilded in Vengeance. It was a lot of fun. It was just fun. And I am so happy I got approved for that. The second one that I requested and I got approved for is The Determined by Rachel Ruckert. Now, this is such a me book, and I was worried I wouldn't get approved for this one, but I did. This one will be released February 24th of next year, and it is set during the golden age of pirates. If you know me, you know I love pirate stories, so I had to request this one because it's historical fiction. Love, love, love with pirates, and we are following female pirates. So we are following Anne Bonny and Mary Read, and this is all about upending all those stereotypes and showing their lives. And where I'm at now, I am 30% through. I do need to finish this one. It's not going to be released until February, but I keep getting those NetGalley reminders. I want to finish this book. I am enjoying it. The pace is definitely slow. We'll read the synopsis here for you. But like I said, it won't be released for a few months, so I'm definitely going to be talking about this book closer to the publication date, don't you worry. But it says, set during the golden age of pirates, this luminous novel of historical fiction based on the real experiences of the era's most fascinating pirates, Anne Bonny and Mary Read, upends all stereotypes of female pirates and excavates these two figures out of the male gaze of history in a story of passion, fierce female friendships, and women confronting the impossible. 1721, Spanish town, Jamaica. Captured, convicted, and pregnant, 23-year-old Anne Bonny faces the gallows. When writer Captain Charles Johnson enters the garrison, she strikes a she'll tell this opportunistic fool about her life if he sends a doctor to her friend Mary Read, who's battling prison fever and isolation. So I was going to read off the summary here on Goodreads to you in case you wanted to add this book to your radar, which so far I definitely think you should. But I was just reading it, and to be honest, it gives a lot of like I said, the story is got a slow pace. So I was just reading through here and I'm like, everything that I just read is what I've experienced so far. So I kind of don't want to read it off to you guys or have you all read it, because I mean, that's the genres and the themes are what I would use to get you to look into this book, which is female pirates, rewriting history, showing women as they are and not through the male gaze, and genuine female friendships. So I'm going to leave it at that for that one. I got approved on NetGalley for this, so it is an e-arc and I'm reading it through my Kindle. I'm 30% through. Kindle says I have about 5 hours left of it, so we'll see if I actually finish it in this vlog, but I would like to make some more progress on this. Next book I've been reading, I definitely haven't talked on here because I've been a bit embarrassed to say that I'm reading it, but I want to make some more progress on it because it's just a lot of fun. It's just a lot of fun. And it is Rivals by Jilly Cooper. This is described as a bonkbuster, and if you're like me, you're thinking, bonkbuster, what in the world? So it's a British slang. It's British slang for a book that's like, I guess like a raunchy book, like a movie would be a blockbuster, but this is a bonkbuster. And as you can see from the sticker here, there's a Hulu series, and that is, of course, how I was introduced to this story. There's a Hulu series of the same name, Rivals, with Aidan Turner and David Tennant. I really enjoyed the series. It was so much fun. It's like a soap opera, a British soap opera, which I could not quit watching. And if you've watched the first season, it ends in a pretty dramatic way where you want to know what happens. So I picked up the book, which is huge, by the way. I picked up the book to find out what happens, and this is all about British television, franchise television. Dame Jilly Cooper did recently pass away. Sadly, she did pass away in October, so Unfortunately, she won't get to see the second season, but from what I've seen, she really loved the first season of the show. And this is just fun. This is pure fun. It is very 80s. So, very 80s. In every aspect. Not just the fashion, everything. The politics, of course, the fashion, which definitely stands out, but the politics stand out. Talk of race and sexuality and gender, that definitely stands out. Unfortunately, there is going to be a very steep age gap romance. We'll see how I feel about that in this. In the show, they did adjust the ages a little bit, which made it more bearable. I'm on page 176 out of 704 pages, so we'll see. But once you do start reading, it goes by really fast because, yeah, it's just fun. It's dramatic and it's fun. Like I said, it's 1980s British television. We have Lord Battingham, who is doing his best to keep up Cranium TV, which is a franchise that's set in the beautiful British countryside. To do so, he brings in Declan O'Hara, who is a famous Irish talk show host. He's trying to get all the views he can, get the funding for Cranium TV. Also brings on Cameron Cook, who is an American. He brings her along to help freshen up the programs, bring in new viewers. Billy Cooper does a wonderful job with the countryside descriptions. They've been so beautiful. And there's also Rupert Campbell Black, who is, everyone loves him and hates him at the same time. So a lot of fun with this one. We'll see if I make decent progress in that. But I hate to say this, but I did just watch the new season of The Witcher with Liam Hemsworth. I was surprised that I did not hate Liam Hemsworth as Geralt as much as I thought I would. I'm not trying to upset anyone, but in my opinion, The Witcher show has never been like a masterpiece. It's always just been fun, and I've just always watched it as fun. I've probably just angered some people saying that, but that's just my opinion. I was very upset when I got the news that Henry Cavill, was not going to be playing as Geralt anymore. Of course I was upset. But I still watched this season. I know some people were refusing to watch it, and that's fine. That is totally up to you. But I did watch it, and I thought it was fun. And I love the scenes of Yennefer and Ciri. I think they definitely instill the show. What I will say about, and Jaskier, I love him. But what I will say about Liam Hemsworth as Geralt, he does a good job in some regards, and I think that he does fine now that Geralt is kind of warmed up, and that he has this kind of family dynamic thing going on, but he's definitely warmer than Henry Cavill, like all the time. He doesn't give off that cold vibe. I don't know if you would call it like Sigma Mel, but Liam Hemsworth just seems warm all the time, like, if that makes any sense. He doesn't give off that cold facade where you kind of question if he has humanity still. I don't know. Just my opinion. But all this to say that it's made me want to continue the Witcher series. Earlier this year, I read Sword of Destiny, which is the second collection of short stories that is recommended you read before diving into the Witcher novels. Months have gone by since I read that, obviously, and I want to continue. This is Blood of Elves, which is the first novel. I would like to read it. I have so many books to read, but this is the tentative TBR for this video, what I would like to get through, make some progress on. If you are still around at this point, thank you so much for clicking on this video. Also, thank you so much for 100 subscribers. I just realized I haven't made a video since getting 100 subscribers, but I am so happy. You have no idea. I can't believe there's 100 people watching me. I hope you can see I'm trying to make some improvements to my audio and really just keep having fun making these videos. I can't believe 100 people are watching me. Sometimes I feel like I'm illiterate, so thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And yeah, thanks for clicking on this video. Let's get started. Good morning. Maple's yawning. Good morning. It is the next day, and I have completed the first challenge of reading 3 hours and 43 minutes. I stayed up until about 12:30 last night to read more of Rivals and the, what is it called? Determined. So now I am 41% through the Determined, and I am on page, let's see, and I made it to page 305 of Rivals. So I definitely owe you a reading update. These books could not be more different from each other. I have a historical fiction following female pirates, and then I have essentially a British soap opera. So about the Determined, honestly, I don't have that many updates. I'm sorry if you can hear Mabel sniffing the rug as if she's never been in this room before. But I don't have that many updates because I believe I mentioned last night that it is a slower paced story, and a lot of it is just about Mary and Anne's experiences leading up to them becoming pirates and what circumstances led to them becoming pirates. So it's a lot about family relationships and also being a woman and a lot of things that just happen to them because they're women, which sucks. But we are getting more chapters of Mary fighting and everything, which is in the summary. It just feels a little bit wild to me to be 40% through a story and all of that be in the summary. I don't know. I guess it's not a spoiler when you know that you're just reading the story to understand their lives and leading up to becoming pirates and also becoming pirates, but it kind of makes me wonder, are we going to miss out on pirate action? I hope we get some pirate action, but I'm 41% of the way through and we haven't. So it's not bad by any means, but it's not as we're being shown. It's weird to say that maybe some of this could have been told. I don't know. The way it's framed is these two women are in jail and they're telling this captain, this writer, their story. For essentially, Anne is like, you need to send a doctor to Mary. Mary has fever. You need to check on her. I will tell you my story if you will send a doctor to actually check on her and take care of her. So that's how we're getting this story, is them recounting their lives. But we haven't gotten to the pirate stuff yet. We're still working to get there. So we'll see if the plot and the pacing and stuff picks up later. I mean, we did get a little battle scene and everything, but it was on land. Where's the sea? Where's the sea? We'll see. So on to Rivals. This book is crazy. Definitely a million trigger warnings. So domestic violence, sexual assault, workplace harassment, everything you could think of, basically. Alcohol, drug abuse, animal abuse. There is so much going on in here. It's really showing their perspectives in television in the 80s. I really think that Jilly Cooper's experience in the industry really informed this book, the people that she knew and stuff. So you're really getting to see the political climate in the British countryside and really the British elite. So these people have money. They're wealthy. We are seeing a couple who they have money, but they didn't grow up in this class. So they kind of bully her for not knowing how to pronounce certain words. They're like, oh, everyone knows it's pronounced this way, which it's spelled completely differently than that. So I didn't know either. Call me poor. You're seeing how uninviting they are, which of course is no surprise. And then you're seeing how awful the entertainment industry is here. And Declan is kind of our hero, but also not, because he also does awful things. But he seems to show interest in other people's lives, so everyone swoons for him. And then Rupert Campbell Black is everyone's love. Everyone loves him or hates him because they love him. And he was in the Olympics. He has a history there. This is actually the second book in a series, but I think you can read any of them. they're all big books, or maybe I just picked this one up because of the show. But there is a book that comes before this that I think follows Rupert Campbell Black, and maybe his time doing show running, show jumping, whatever you do with horses is what he did. I think the show made, I really love the show. It's not often that you hear me say that the show is better than the book, but I really love the show, and I think the show made a lot of great adjustments, and it's really fun to watch it on screen, especially it being like this cringe soap opera. The book has a lot of, I would say the show is following the book, what happens in the book. It's just making, I would say, necessary adjustments. I personally like that the actor who plays Rupert Campbell Black has dark hair rather than blonde hair. Oh, Tony, Lord Battingham. Tony's just awful. I mean, in the show for a minute, I was like, oh, sympathizing with him, which I don't even know why. Maybe if I rewatched it, my brain would understand. Well, I went into the show knowing nothing, but I don't know. But in the book, immediately I'm like, this guy's a jerk. I hate this guy. Ugh. Really about these people's lives, these couples' lives. They are all sleeping with each other. I don't know how to describe it besides there's all these couples. They're all sleeping with each other. They're all working in or around the Cranium TV because it's for where they live. And Tony, Lord Battingham's main challenge right now is to get funding and get more viewers. So I am enjoying this. You know, it's hard to put down. It's like watching reality TV, which I am a sucker for reality TV. It's like watching that, but I get to read the book. Where I'm at now, I'm still reading the events that I've already seen in the show. So hopefully a couple hundred more pages, I will get to where the show pick up where the show left off and see what happens after that. I wonder when season 2 is coming out. I think they are already filming it. It says the second season of Rivals has started filming and will have 12 episodes with a release date expected in 2026. While I am enjoying this, and I think it's just, I guess, a bonkbuster, an 80s bonkbuster, I wouldn't recommend it to anyone. Watch the show. It's a lot of fun. There is still the age gap romance. Do with that what you will. So now, let's see. The time that I need to read today, which I've already read an hour today. Did I even say that? So last night I stayed up until about 12:30, which left an hour for me to read today. So this morning I've been finishing the last hour. Sorry if I hadn't said that already. So today I need to read the time that I spent on my phone on Sunday, which was 3 hours and 57 minutes. So basically, I need to read for 4 more hours today. So let's get started. I have completed my reading challenge for the day, which was to read for 3 hours and 57 minutes. So in total, I have read 7 hours and 40 minutes for this vlog. And I am sad to say that the Determined is not the fave that I thought it would be. Like, it's not what I was expecting, I guess. So I can't really fault, I guess, the way the story is pitched, the summary, or the author, because the author does say that they really wanted to portray Anne Bonny and Mary Read with as much like humanity and treat them as well-rounded women as they could, following the facts of what we know of their history, which isn't much. But I feel like this does oh, Mabel's yawning again. I feel like this does a disservice to the story because it feels like a missed opportunity. You're sticking with the history, with what we know, and it doesn't hold my attention, I guess, is the thing. So I am feeling tired. I know I described the pace as slow. I do feel like the pace is slow, but I also feel like that's just me. I'm going to finish the book. I'm going to see what I think of the ending. My Kindle says I have about 2.5 hours left to read, so I will finish the book, of course, and I will give my honest review once I've completed it. Maybe the ending will bring it up a star or a half star. I don't usually do half ratings, but it's not what I thought it would be, I guess. Like, even when it comes to the friendship between Mary Read and Anne Bonny, we don't we don't see that on the page as much as I expected us to, because by the time I got to the 40% or maybe even further into the story, that's when we meet. It's just hard for me to review the friendship that's pitched as being, I don't know. I also don't know. At first, I thought I liked the frame of the story with the author of Pirates, the General History of Pirates book, being the one who is getting the women to tell their stories. I liked that frame at first, but now I don't. It feels kind of disjointed, and like we don't really need him to get us to the point of telling the story. I don't know if any of this makes sense. Hopefully I can piece something together from all that I'd said, but sometimes with historical fiction, I understand the need to have history in it, the impulse to be historical and stick to what we know, but also it's fiction. You need some type of embellishment, and there is, of course, it is fiction. It's pitched as historical fiction, but I would say there's some missed opportunities. We're supposed to be seeing these fierce female friendships. Well, why did it take me like half of the story to get there? And even then, it doesn't feel that way. You can tell when there's a good part, like it stands out more. It takes you out of the story because you're like, oh my gosh, this is what I've been waiting for. But then it's gone just as fast as it arrived. Which I know it sounds like I hate the story. It's not that I hate it. It's that honestly, I'm just a little bit bored with it. But I am so grateful that I got approved to read and review the E-Arc. It definitely sounded like a book for me, for sure. And I am glad to have read it and to get the opportunity to read it early. I'm always so grateful, especially because I requested it. And then, so I read 35% more of that, so I'm now 65% through the story. And then of Rivals, I got to page 310. So where did I start with this one? Okay, I believe I started on page 176. So I read 134 pages of Rivals. Still stand by everything I said in the last update because I only read a couple more pages of this one to give me a little break after reading some more of The Determined. Then I did start Blood of Elves by Andrzej Sapkowski. I read the first chapter, which is 52 pages, and I am very excited to be back in this world. Dandelion is kicking off the story here by singing one of his songs, and then everyone is kind of interrogating him, being like, well, what do you know about the lion cub of Cintra, Cirilla? Is she still living? We all heard she died. Wanting to know about her. They're wanting to know more about Geralt the Witcher. So Yennefer, thought it was a great introduction to the story. We also get action within the first 52 pages, so definitely a lot faster and a nice palette, well, would you call it a palette cleanser? But a nice palette cleanser after the Determined, which is very slow, as I've said. So for those of you who do not know, the Witchers are described as mutants. They have powers to defeat monsters. So they are monster hunters for hire. They will go and slay a monster for you. And they are described as kind of lacking humanity. They take these elixirs which enhance their abilities, and our main Witcher is Geralt. We are following Geralt of Rivia. His connection to Ciri is prophesied child and his child's surprise. Basically, she is connected to him, but she's also connected to all of these different things, so everyone is wanting their hands on Ciri, and that's why this book starts with an interrogation of, where is Ciri? What have you heard of her? Is she still living? And then you see all the different races, dwarves, elves, humans, sorceresses and sorcerers, and how they don't really get along, the racism there. I have noticed some inconsistencies, and that could be purely the translation. This one is translated by Danusia Stock. I hope I said that correctly. Not sure if it is or not, but I've just noticed sometimes words are capitalized and sometimes they're not, even though they're being used the exact same way. With that, I am happy with the progress I made on my books today. I will finish The Determined, of course, and give a thorough review, and I will keep reading Rivals as I go. I've really enjoyed reading a chapter or two of that after work in the evenings. I'm just taking my time with it. It is a big book, but it's also fun. It's like turning on an episode of your favorite reality show and just seeing what all these people get up to. Then I will be continuing Blood of Elves. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!